That was me trying to stop Spotify, which took longer than I hoped for. All right, welcome back to another, I guess we can officially call it an episode of How'd They Do That? Or how did they do that? Anyways, let's get right into it. I'm going to solve someone's problem on the internet. Here they are. Damn it, that was the wrong webpage. Let me find the... Here they are. Nope, same webpage. There it is. Found it. Here they are. Okay, so without boring anybody, it was on Reddit, found this one. No one has replied. Oh, must be feeling very left out. You rekette? Cool. Got a lot of good karma going on there, rekette. Rekette sounds better. They have asked, I've got a request to make a trailer for Instagram that's vertical. Good question. It'll be the first time I edit a vertical video. Are there any differences between the two I should be aware of, or tips about framing I should watch out for? Much appreciated for any input. Hashbar. Well, it's your lucky evening. What time is it? It's like 8:30 on a Friday night, and I just couldn't help myself but make one of these really quickly, and this comment stood out to me. So to answer your question, yeah, there are some things to consider. I have been responsible for many vertical edits for many campaigns, and my main advice would be there's kind of two stems. If it's been shot for vertical, then you don't really have to worry about too much. It's just like editing regular video, except it's been... Typically, the camera's been rotated 90 degrees and you're editing a vertical video. Most of the time, at least in my experience, it's a 16 by 9, so a regular format. And they've asked, like you have here, to put it into an Instagram portrait view. So how I normally work with that is I actually edit my video in 16 by 9 first. And that's because usually they end up asking for a 16 by 9 version anyway. I know that seems odd, but if you're going to cut it, you may as well tell the story in the 16 by 9, ratio that you're comfortable with, and then convert it. When you convert it to the horizontal, yeah, there are some things that you want to be considerate of. And it's mainly when... got a sneeze coming on. It's mainly when you've got two people talking to each other are the biggest areas where problems arise, because it's quite hard, unless it's been shot with that considered, to fit both of those people into the frame. So sometimes you end up doing some post pans or zooms, or actually cutting kind of between the left third and the right third of that 16 by 9 image. So if you've got two people talking, one on the left, one on the right, in your portrait view, you might end up having person A, and then they're obviously normally in that one view, but then you cut to person B, cut back to person A. So they're the main considerations. I've got an example ad here that I will show you, and that should get you on your way to creating your first Instagram video. Congratulations, by the way. All right, let's open Premiere Pro, and let's grab an example video. Oh, what are we going to get? We did it. Okay, so I have... I just messed around for like 5 minutes trying to find this file. Brought in a job that we'd finished for BOQ, which is a bank here in Australia, Queensland. Bank of Queensland. Just so we're all aware, just using this as for an example purposes, not, working with or handing out this content. But it is a good example where you can see we've got a 16 by 9 video, but then obviously if we were editing if we're editing portrait here, that would almost be impossible to get both of those people in. So this is a great example. So I'm just going to make a quick new timeline here. Obviously, this isn't an editing tutorial on how to use Premiere exactly today. So let's just assume this is our edit. I'm just going to move along and make a quick cut point here and here, just to show a quick example of 4 shots. That should do it. There we go. Okay, so let's say this is our edit. We've got a 2-shot, single, and then a 2-shot. Okay, so what we would do is I would duplicate my timeline. So I'm going to call this one 16 by 9, and I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to call this one 9 by 16. I'm going to go in there and adjust my sequence settings. Normally I'll do portrait video if it's been done, already exported in HD. I'll do it slightly smaller, just so when I'm scaling up and down and changing resolutions, they don't lose as much. But you could obviously just do HD reversed, which would be 1080 by 1920. In this case, I'm going to do 720 by 1280. And hit OK, and bing, there's our portrait. So we've already got our edit, so immediately we kind of know the edit. We already know that we've told the right story without the confines of the 9 by 16 frame, which could throw you off. And now it only becomes a matter of doing some rescaling. So we can click on our first clip, up to effects control, and let's just push that up to 100%. So in this instance, we know that our guy is looking at our girl. So I might just pan over to our guy and start the shot there. There he is with a smile. Now I can put a manual cut point here, and on the second bit of the clip, as you can see, I'll then just quickly cut over here to the girl. Now the cool thing is I can obviously slip this shot and slightly shift it like this. And it's almost like an overlap, and you can see the duplication there with the duplicate timeline markers. And so now we get the best of both actions. If I'll go full screen and hit play. Giggle, giggle, single. So you can immediately see we've now made essentially one shot into two. The single shot, you then end up just reframing for whatever fits best. So let's go that. There's our single. Come to the third shot, scale up, reframe. And our final two shot, I'm going to do an example of a post pan and show you what that can look like. So let's start with our girl, and we'll zoom up to get rid of the black bars. We'll put a position and a scale. We don't need a scale keyframe. I mean, we could do one, but it's irrelevant. And we're going to put a position keyframe, move along, and make a second keyframe over here. Now it's going to do a move. I'm just going to put an ease in and an ease out, and just adjust these curves so we get a bit of a nicer whip. And we can speed that up if we want, get a quicker whip. Whip, and we move these together. Whip. There we go. A little bit this way, a little bit that way. And now we've got this cool kind of digital zoom. I don't know why I keep going to say zoom. Now we've got this cool digital pan. Feels like a whip pan. It kind of adds a bit more character to the edit. And in the first instance where we see that two shot, we've kind of treated it like a cut. So there are a couple of ways. I don't think you need to overthink it. Do your best to tell the intention or to tell and share the story of that edit. And 9 by 16 doesn't have to be overly different to 16 by 9. So hopefully that helps. Let me hit play on this edit, and we'll see how our 16 by 9 edit converted to 9 by 16 looks. There we go. All right, good luck, best of wishes, and I hope you take over Instagram with your wonderful editing.